open with you. When the tide of the fight has been shifted, our hopes are falling down. The name rings over the mountains. Good Terra has joined the fight. When the mighty has done, the battle is won. The lights are on her tonight. When the darkness comes to surround us, steadfast and golden faith. The name rings over the mountains. Good Terra has joined the fight. When the mighty has done, the battle is won. The lights are on her tonight.
What is up, Paragon Community?
What's up,
How
folks?
you guys doing today? My name is Edgar Diaz. I'm joined here by Mr. Chris Sierra, Community Coordinator. Cameron Winston.
Hello.
How you doing?
The one and
Lead
only.
Hero Designer. And
The one
Jordan
and only.
Walker, Lead Artist. How you guys doing today?
Pretty good. All right.
So, Terra Dev Stream. It's been a while since...
It's
since
been a
we've-
hot minute, folks.
It's been a while since
Been
we've
a
done
hot
some of
minute.
these. Now, some of you guys maybe... I'm just going to go ahead and address this. Some of you guys may be caught a little bit off guard. I know you guys are used to seeing Kale's beautiful, handsome self here in place of me. But in case you guys were unaware, his family is actually growing in size very, very soon here. So he's got to kind of be prepping for all that. He's got to be on call 24/7. So
Little
I am
important.
here with you guys today, but he did want me to wish all of you a happy Winterfest and hope that you guys are all really excited for today's dev stream. So we got some cool stuff to talk about today. Terra, very much looking forward to her. Very much looking forward to her.
Super stoked.
Before we jump into that, though, I just want to briefly talk about Winterfest. We have some exciting stuff coming up in
You guys hyped
game
for
here.
Winterfest?
I am extremely excited
I'm
about
hyped for
Winterfest this
Winterfest.
year. So, Chris, kind of talk to me a little bit about what folks can expect from Winterfest this year. How does it differ
Right.
from last year's? What kind of cool stuff can people get their hands
Yeah,
on?
yeah. So we tried to bring more of the in-game aspect to the event this year. So one of the things that we're going to be doing, so on days 1, 7, and 15 of each week, this is a 4-week event, you have a chance to earn a really cool, actually not a chance, but you will earn a Winterfest chest that will give you some exclusive Winterfest items, some of the old legacy skins from last year. We've got some
right.
cool skins that we're calling Everfrost skins that you'll be able to get.
Right, we
And
actually
then,
got a quick look at them at the end of that announcement video
Right.
there. So I want to hear from you guys in chat, because we do have chat pulled up here as well. I want to hear, what skin are you guys most excited about? For me personally, that Revenant one.
Hot
lit-
fire.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I know Kale's a
Pun
little bit
intended, by the way, because he's got...
Yeah, flaming head.
It's almost
Jokes?
like we still have
Jokes?
Mooney here. It's almost like we still have Mooney here.
That was embarrassing.
I am
Embarrassing.
I am Mooney.
But yeah, so we have some awesome stuff that folks can get their hands on. As far as Winterfest content goes, we have some exclusive banners. We have some new skins coming out.
Yep.
You're going to be able to get your hands on some of those legacy skins from last year if you didn't have a chance to.
Yeah, and
What
one
else?
of the things I was going to say, too, so the way it'll work, so on top of the chest, so each
Mm-hmm.
week, if you hit 20 games played each week, you will have a chance to earn one of those
Right.
skins once each week. And then you also have a chance to purchase them if you would like to as well. So it's going to be a really cool event. We're really excited. There's some cool wintery stuff going on with the map and the UI, which you guys will have a chance to see later on in the stream.
Right, right. We are going to talk a little bit about, I know one of the questions that we've been getting pretty frequently here is snow. Is snow coming back to Monolith? Is snow coming back to Monolith? Well,
Let it snow.
very happy to report that yes, it will be there, and we're actually going to be taking a little bit of a look at that
So excited.
later on. Jordan's going to talk a little bit about it, and then when we have Jay and Tim joining us later on, we're going to take a little bit of a closer look at that. Outside of that, 44.6, really briefly, we have patch notes dropping tomorrow, folks, so make sure you're on the lookout for that.
3:30 a.m. EST.
They will be out very early.
Very early.
Very early.
I will not be
At least-
awake, but maybe you will be.
And some things that folks can expect. I don't want to jump too much into detail, but I know a couple folks are kind of curious in the realm of balance, what to expect there. We do have a number of changes that I'm excited for personally. Howitzer getting a little bit of love. He's been a hero in the community that people have been kind of talking about for a bit, feeling a little bit weak there in the mid lane. So he's going to be getting shown some love, as
Yeah.
well as
It'll be cool to see him back on track.
right. And Severog is actually going to be taking a little bit of a hit in the form of some nerfs. So he's been a little bit on the strong side recently. So
Right.
he's going to be brought back down a little bit. Outside of that, cards, Deathcrawler going to be seeing some overall damage reductions as well. There's going to be some changes to that card as well. So be on the lookout for that with the patch notes. And last thing, lore. For all you lore fanatics out there, we have your favorite little drummer boy, Narbash, who's going to be returning for
Not me?
Not you, Chris. Not you.
I'm a little offended, folks. Just a little bit.
We
It's
will
okay.
have a new lore story dropped for you guys, which we will be sharing in parts, similar to if you guys have been paying attention to some of the other ones that we've been rolling out. Very similar in cadence. Winterfest will be lasting till January 8th, I believe, and every week we will be sharing another part of that lore. So
Yeah, and that lore will be dropping Tuesday. You may have said that, but if not, Tuesday.
there you go.
Tomorrow.
So with all of that being said, Winterfest, super excited for it. Hope that kind of gave you guys a little bit of an overview of what you guys can expect tomorrow when that patch hits. But again, patch notes tomorrow. All details will be in there. Now let's get to what everybody is here for. Terra.
Terra.
Extremely excited about this hero.
been a long time
aesthetically,
coming.
visually. I'm not going to jump the gun here too much, Jordan. I'm going to let you do your thing and talk about her shortly. But Cameron, I want to kind of start things off with you a little bit while we go ahead and pull up some gameplay here in the background for folks to check out at home. Talk to me about her kit a little bit. Let's go ahead and instead of the overview, we actually don't have the overview here to play, but I believe that is on our social sites, so go ahead and check out our Twitter, Facebook, etc. To go ahead and check that out. But in the stead of that, let's go ahead and talk about her kit a little bit, talk about some of the design processes.
Sure.
What sort of goals it was that you wanted to accomplish with Terra in particular?
So we had a bunch of visual design things that we wanted to hit that I think it's better if Jordan talks about. But for the actual gameplay design stuff, we started off with this kit, which the Rev 1.0 of the kit was like her code name was Justice, right? And like the idea was that she played around with like, you know, balancing health. So she had this life drain ability.
Okay.
And
Life
she had
drain, really?
she had a life drain ability.
Wow.
She had another ability where it would drain speed from everyone around you and give it to your friends. So the idea was like the balance was the whole point of her character. And then her ultimate was she
Very
picked
friendly
another hero. And at the end of her ultimate, neither of them could die during the ultimate. And at the end of it, they'd add up all the life they had together and split it 50-50. And we played this kit, and it was just terrible. It was really bad. Like everything about it was bad. Like it looked
I really
bad.
appreciate the
Hey, they're
honesty
humble.
there.
No, I mean it was
Humble and
awful.
honest.
Like it was garbage. We were playing it. We're like, oh my god, like this is not working at all. And then like the team came to me and they're just like, you know, yeah, we're
This
gonna
ain't working out.
This is not working out. Like, and I was like, well, come on, balance guys. Like, what do you think? Like, can we? And like, no, it's not working out. So like, all right. So then we kind of like went back to the drawing board a little bit. We started like adjusting the kit, and then we went through a bunch of revs on it. And then you know the model started coming down, and we're just like saying, okay, well, we're gonna do like, you know, we got this awesome shield, we're going to use this. And so we kind of like started incorporating elements of the visual design more back into the kit, and we kept working it. And we always kind of had like the idea of her as like, all right, well, we knew we wanted her to be like a really good jungler. We wanted her to be like a good kind of solo laner. We wanted her to be able to handle good engagement. So then like the ability started coming online one by one. It's like, okay, we know we needed like a big kind of like AoE stun thing.
Okay.
We wanted some kind of way for her to do damage. We wanted to leverage her shield and a cool ability that no one had used before. And then for the ultimate, we wanted some kind of ability where she just can go into a team fight and just do work and not worry about it.
Okay.
And
that is the unstoppable
that's
force.
unstoppable force. And the main thing about it was like, this is our first made fighter. She doesn't really have a good way of like closing gaps at all with people, so other than like buying blinks. So you know, she needed to be tough and durable and have good ways of engaging.
Sure. Gotcha.
Very cool.
Gotcha.
One of the things I was going to ask real quick, so when it comes to heroes, especially Terra, like how many iterations do you guys typically go through before being like, hey, we're locking down on this kit. This is what we want.
Well, Jordan
I
usually...
see Jordan. I see Jordan's face over there.
Jordan,
Jordan, if Jordan
please.
gives me like a deadline, like, hey, we have to know what this is by 12 midnight on Tuesday, like usually by like 12:10 on Wednesday, we'll be like,
Sorry,
could
bro,
we
we're
have
10
an extra
minutes late.
day? No, I mean yeah.
It's less about revisions and it's more just like constantly changing with lots of feedback and like
Right,
it's
yeah.
less like, oh, here's this version, here's this version, here's this version.
Gotcha.
I mean, like you said, there was clearly a version where it was like, this isn't working. But then from then on, it was more like this ability changes, that ability changes based on like feedback and iteration, right?
Gotcha. I will say one of the reasons why this hero appeals to me so much in particular, I'm a huge just comic book guy in general, and one of the comics that I used to love back in the day was all the original X-Men comics, and Juggernaut was like one of my favorite heroes, just point blank. Her running in there when the mask comes down, and
Oh,
she's got the
that
unstoppable
part of the trailer,
force going on.
goosebumps.
Goosebumps.
Oh man, I get so excited every single time. So that's going to be a super fun ability. I'm really excited to kind of see what the community does with that, especially with things CC in general, just in the game. People kind of feeling like it's a little bit prevalent.
It's kind of her time in the meta, but I mean, metas come and go. I mean, like the reality is what we see is like, yeah, there's definitely times when you get to be a hero by like ulting and like walking into a Gideon black hole and like disrupting it and stuff like that. But a lot of times, I mean, she can still be kited. When her ult's down,
Gotcha.
there's lots of ways. Like she has a real hard time with, she like if she's fighting other kind of fightery, more damagey fightery heroes, like a Grux can kind of come up and just kind of work her a lot because like people who just don't care about control, I just kill you. I mean, she doesn't have excessive damage in the sense of like when her stuff's not on cooldown, she can't just like beast you in those kind of ways. What she can do is she's really good with a blink. Like, can't emphasize that enough. Like, you know, blink initiate. She can really set up ganks and stuff like that. But you're not gonna like carry the game as her. It's not like, oh, I'm a really fed Grux or I'm a really fed like Sevrog. It's not the same kind of effect where she takes over the game. She kind of helps you win team fights. So she'll enable your carry and she'll enable other people to gank to take over the game. But I don't think you're gonna like just see like Terra just like taking over the entire game.
And she kind of forces people to deal with her, right? When she's in there with that unstoppable force, you can't really necessarily ignore her because she's just gonna be eating your backline.
Well, that's the whole tank approach in MOBAs, right? You want to create characters that like you don't want to actually like click on somebody and be like taunt and force you to attack me. Because you create these characters that like force you to deal with them because she's immune to CC. You can't control her. She's gonna stun you. You have to either deal with her somehow.
Gotcha. Now, how about in terms of preference for builds and whatnot? I know you said it kind of seems like there's a lot of emphasis on the tank aspects of her, bringing some of that utility, but also still forcing people to deal with her. So in terms of builds, is there anything in particular that you've been seeing on the design side or regarding the comp design guys, build-wise, how have they been facilitating their decks?
I don't like, I mean, for me, there's a lot of different approaches to it. The main thing is, when I play, I usually build her very tanky, but like you need some kind of mobility engagement. Like you can do what they call, the comp guys call race car builds, where it's like,
race car.
Yeah, race car.
Yo, Jeff Gordon's in here.
You do a bunch of like movement, speed, enhancement, red cards. The way I play her is blue something. Usually it's either blue black or blue white. When you play blue, like you get that astral leap. Like I figured
that's what. Yeah.
You gotta like you need to have some kind of version of how to get on people because otherwise, what happens is just like. You're just like, I'm coming, and you just now get there in time. So
well, that was the thing that we talked about even like before the stream was the fact of how many people are going to utilize the ult, and then they're like, I'm coming, and then the ult's down, and they're like, wait, I'm stunned. It's like, oh, you used the ult too early.
Using the ult at the right time, because also you can like bait the ult out, and like now you know her ult's down, and now she can't really like get money. But at the end of the day, she's still got really very powerful, strong stun. She's got great wave clear, and she's situationally really good, kind of in the same way Yin is at dealing with certain heroes like Gideon, like blocking. My favorite moment playing Terra was I got Murdoch ulted, and I blocked it with my shield.
What? That's gotta feel good.
That felt real. I was like, wow, I'm awesome. Like,
probably a total accident. Let's be honest. It was a total accident. It was a total accident. Let's be honest.
Cam, I got you. I believe
I'm not that bad. I mean, I'm bad. I'm not that bad. Come on.
He saw it coming.
Okay. All right.
Okay. I knew I was low. I'm like, Murdoch's gonna snipe me, but then it didn't happen. I was like, oh, I'm gonna feel like $1 million.
Okay. All right. So
that's pretty rad.
That's some of the more gameplay-y aspects of her. Kind of just a little bit of a kit rundown there. I want to start transitioning a little bit over to more you now, though, Jordan, from an art perspective. I know you brought over some things to kind of talk over as well regarding Terra, some concepts and whatnot. So we can go ahead and start rolling those up on your screen here shortly. But kind of talk us through, first off, what was your experience working with Cameron here on the art side of things, trying to really facilitate her abilities and trying to work towards these goals that Cameron kind of spoke to a little bit earlier. How did you go about facilitating that from an art perspective?
So we knew we wanted to build this like sort of a tanky, like strong character. And so that's where we started with, I believe Mark Bean kicked off the concept for her, and we knew we wanted to have like bigger armor. We wanted to have an element to the armor that like expressed strength and tankiness, and so that's where this idea of this helmet that comes down came from.
Love it.
That's awesome.
And then Mike Kime, who was the modeler on this, like took that further, made it parts move and work together, and then that sort of became this central thing about this character, where it was like we wanted this moment where the helmet slams down and something cool happens.
Right.
And I think that's where, I was talking about being organic in the development process. We were always trying to figure out like what point is that, right? Does she slam her helmet down for every ability? Does she slam her helmet down for one ability?
Gotcha.
Is it something, just trying to figure out what's the right moment.
Sure.
And
I love that we used it for the one big moment too.
Oh, yeah,
just to be
absolutely,
like, helmet's
absolutely.
coming down. You know,
Battle ready,
Oh
we're
gosh,
going in.
Tara's ready.
Exactly.
She's coming at me.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
And
That's
so
awesome.
that's where the effects team picked up on it as well. Tim will talk about it a little bit later, but just, you know, when the helmet comes down, we like ramp up her effects and make her look like super, you know, almost like this paladin or something that's got
Right.
like glowing effects on her. And stuff.
Gotcha.
Super
gotcha.
cool, man.
Okay, that's awesome.
Super
That's
cool.
awesome. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull up some of those images then, so we can go ahead and take a look at some of the concepts. If you want to go ahead and start talking us through these here, Jordan.
Oh yeah, so this is the high poly that Mike Kine built based on Mark Beam's concept. And so this is before it's like baked down to any sort of low poly. So this is him just, you know, he spent tons of time making sure this layered armor worked correctly, that it was like within budget, and it had, you know, lots of details that read from a distance. You'll notice that like she has filigree and like sort of fine details on her shoulder pads, but they're nice and thick
Right.
and stuff. They don't get lost.
Right.
We can
Okay.
skip through. Yeah, these are some renders. That
Such a cool
we
shot.
did in
Oh,
the
I
engine.
love that one.
Such a cool shot.
So John Gibson did the textures and materials on her. It's surprising. She's actually a bit of a challenge because she's all metal. Metal can be a bit of a pain because it just reflects what environment is around it. So sometimes it could come out too dark. Sometimes it could come out
okay.
too bright.
Gotcha.
You know, if
Right.
making armor is tough as well because if it's too shiny, it can look thin, like chrome. Like if you hit it, it would
Right.
just break.
Right.
And if it's too rough, it doesn't look nice.
Gotcha. And that goes towards what you were saying earlier. You wanted her to be like this battle ready, just sort of worn. You don't want her to look flimsy at all
Right,
in any
right.
way,
You
shape,
want
or
her
form.
armor to look strong,
Sure.
but also it has this almost like it looks like nice armor. It's not like
Gotcha.
beat up, right?
So I was going to ask real quick, serious question, extremely serious. So do we think her favorite genre of music is metal?
Maybe potentially.
Oh, no.
I just wanted to throw that one out there real
no.
quick. Chat, what do you guys
Oh,
think?
no.
I'll throw it to you real quick.
Oh, no.
Okay, back to you, George.
Oh,
Sorry.
no.
But why?
Very serious question.
But why?
He said she's made of metal. Anyways, sorry.
And then I think we probably have a couple other shots of like one of her skins that we did. Yep, this is just another shot of her high,
Okay.
showing it from the back and stuff.
Gotcha.
And then this is one of the skins we put together. So
Oh, man.
Kaim actually built this. I think he built this skin like immediately after building her sort of default skin.
That skin is so awesome.
Yeah, I think Herman ended up sketching this skin for us, but
This is the
it's
Griffin Knight
skin,
it's
correct? The
super
T1.5?
cool, yeah.
Yeah.
It's got all those like birds and stuff on it. Like the details are really nice. So.
Very Bloodborne-y,
Oh yeah,
which is one of my favorite games. Yeah, very cool.
yeah. But yeah, you know, we tried to make her feel super heavy. Her animations feel heavy. The audio, you know, goes a long way to making her stuff feel really heavy. It was just one of those things where when we were reviewing her in Hero reviews, it was like her stance had to be correct. The audio, like everything had to play well with this idea that she's this like tank that can just take tons of damage and, you know,
Yeah.
plow through, you know, the battle.
It's awesome.
Oh, yeah. That's great.
Love that skin. One of my favorites we've ever done. 100%.
Everything about just the way she looks is like it reinforces her design, and this is something that like we always took into account like with a lot of the rework as we started modifying the kit. As I said before, just like I mean, look at that shield is awesome. The axe is really good. Like everything about it is just like it feels like this really super powerful badass chick coming to like destroy you. It's
Right.
awesome.
I love how everything comes together too, even with the lore story we put out between her and Countess, and just showing like the humble, modest nature of her as Terra, and you can tell that she's just like, I'm confident, I want to stand up for good and go against evil, and even her
Absolutely.
armor reflects that, just the power that she has.
Yep.
Super cool.
The
Yep.
design team did a great job too. Like one of the things we were talking about in her hero reviews was making sure that like the way she looked matched what she did. And I feel like in the end, you know, we came out with abilities that the design team was able and the art team was able to come together with. Like, you know, you look at her and you imagine in your head what she should be able to do, and then her kit, you know, closely matches that.
Does
which
it?
is
Yep.
awesome.
Right. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Just aesthetically, visually, what you would expect a hero like this with a big old axe and a big old shield to
Shield,
do,
yeah.
with the helmet and everything. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think she came together absolutely phenomenal. Now, I don't know how much you guys know about, I know you know CW.
I know.
I tend to only play one role in Paragon.
Yeah, support, right?
I only definitely
Stop
support.
it.
So
Muriel
I only play carry, but Terra is the
Support, he
first.
said.
She is the first hero who is going to pull me away from being the one-trick pony.
Stop
that,
it.
that
Listen,
I
man,
am.
don't
I've
let
been
your
trying
dreams
this
be
for
dreams.
2
You
years,
can
folks.
just-
2 years.
Just carry the Terra, dude. Just do it. Just give her all the farm. Yeah, I mean, why stop being? I mean, if you're gonna do it with Seraph, right? Just Just carry the Terra.
I think I'm
Terra
gonna,
glass cannon
I
building.
think I'm gonna take that as a challenge.
There you
I think
go.
I'm gonna
Carry
take
the
that
Terra.
as a challenge.
Dude, all offense.
Terra carry incoming in a 2v2 lane.
Yeah.
Now that we have 2v2
Next
lanes,
play with
exactly.
community stream. Terra carry.
Hold me to it.
Yeah, there you go. Make him do it.
Hold him
Well,
to it.
Let me know how that works out for you.
I'll hold him to it. I'll be on the other team while he's doing that, but we'll gladly hold him to it. Okay.
Thank you guys so much for jumping on here and talking through this, guys. Seriously, Jordan, Cam, thank you guys so much
Awesome
for your
stuff.
time.
Thanks for having us.
Very, very
Thanks,
excited
guys.
to get our hands on this here, and I hope you guys at home were able to kind of get an insight into a little bit of the thought process and some of the work that goes into from both the design and art side into some of our heroes. This Terra in particular, super, super excited for it. Thank you guys again for jumping on here. We're going to go ahead and take a real quick break as we transition. We're going to go ahead and get Tim and Jay on here to talk about animation and effects.
Ooh, my favorite.
All right, we'll be right back, guys.
See ya.
Thanks.
And hey, folks, we are back.
How are you guys going to do that to me?
I'm just loving on you, man. Come on.
Chat, we see you guys. We see you guys.
We see you, chat.
I do have a little bit of a tendency to talk with my hands at times, just a little bit. So
all good.
yeah, these
It's
are
all good.
these
When you're
guys.
as great
these
as
guys,
Ed, you have to
Get-
have
these
something.
get
guys,
real people
these
on
guys
here.
legitimately just I see the chat. I see the chat all blowing
That's
up.
right.
I see you guys.
Come on, chat. Let's go.
These guys literally organized that in about the minute and a half that it took them to transition onto the stage here. So kudos to you guys for that. Thank you. Put me on blast.
So when we talk about animation and effects, these guys really know what they're doing. So as showcased here, they like to improv things too. It's great.
But yeah, so we have Mr. Tim Ellick, lead effects artist. How you doing today? And
Good.
Jay Hostfeld,
Thanks for
lead
having me.
animator. How you
Hey,
doing?
hey. Doing well,
What's up,
thanks.
guys?
Great
So,
to have you guys.
Really, really excited to start getting into some of this stuff. So we are going to be talking animation, effects, rigging, etc. Jay, I
Right.
want to kind of kick things off with you. You kind of brought some cool stuff for us to look over in the realm of mocap and things like that, kind of adding to the
Sure.
animations.
Sure. So yeah, I would love to talk about Terra. She was pretty challenging because you can see she's one of our largest characters design-wise.
Sure.
She's very heavy, but she still had to move quick. She has to be responsive when you play her.
Right.
So that was our biggest challenge. So we did start off with mocap,
Okay.
and we knew that we wanted heavy, so we actually cast Gabe Wood, who was the actor for Marcus Phoenix back in Gears of War.
Really? No
Yes.
way.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Because
That's actually really cool. Did not know
that
that.
was heavy. Marcus was a very heavy character, and so we
So cool.
needed to start off from a good point. But it turned out that even the motion he did was still too light feeling.
That's really cool.
Mocap always comes off as light. You know, when you get it in for whatever reason, everything looks like someone's in a styrofoam suit. You know, kind of
Right,
thing.
right.
So Jay Sung was the animator on Terra, and so while we did do motion capture, we ended up not using it for the end result. Jay Sung
Really?
ended up keyframing just about
Interesting.
everything because we really had to get the weight down.
Gotcha.
Right.
Also, her rig was really well done. Mike Kime and Charles Anderson, the rigger, worked together to make sure she didn't clip a lot, but it still needed a lot of hand touch animation finesse for her. So I'm going to show some B-roll. So this is her in game. So
Okay.
this is pretty much all keyframe. This
That
is also
Jump pad animation.
Yes.
I'm kinda
Jay
digging that. Kinda
continues to
digging that.
outdo
Yes.
himself.
That landing is, bro.
Yeah, so she's real
Every
heavy,
single
and
time.
if you watch her run, you know most people when they run, their feet kind of land in a line, and hers are kind of side to side. That shows weight.
Okay.
Well, I love even seeing the shoulder pads every time she takes a step, just like showing the weight of the armor going as she's moving along.
And the other thing too is, in a game when you hit a button to swing an axe, you want that axe to hit. In real life, if you're going to swing an axe, it's going to take you a good 2 seconds to kind of get it up and going. So what we do in animation is basically we kind of borrow from anticipation, but we have to pay back and follow through at the end. So basically, we make the front end faster, but we really have to sell that weight at the back end. So a lot of her recovery animations take 2 to 3 times longer than other characters.
Gotcha.
So you'll notice her just kind of really overemphasizing that swing.
Sure,
on the
and
back
kind
end.
of little things like that really add to the overall immersion of playing the character and really feeling like you have that suit of armor on you while you're running into battle here on Monolith's Terra.
So yeah, she's super challenging. Jae-sung did a terrific job on her. The prior character he'd done was Shinbi, which is just about.
Okay, hold on.
Hold the phone, folks.
Let's backtrack just 1 second.
Wow.
The person who worked on, I'm sorry, name again.
Jae-sung.
Jae-sung. So he worked on Terra. His previous hero was Shinbi.
Yes.
That's
Yeah, so
a
that's
little
2
bit
ends of a
different.
spectrum,
Oh
right?
yeah, absolutely.
He's got
absolutely.
some mad skills.
Shinbi's
Wow.
light on her toes, and Terra's not light on her toes. So.
Okay.
I'm trying to imagine Shinbi wearing this armor, like doing one of her like pop shows, and being like, ooh. That would
So
work.
we'll go to the next video. I just want to kind of show how this starts. So what happens is this is actually mocap here, and this is for her. What's her double swing? That's
The Q.
That's a Q. What's her name for that? What's it?
For the counter guard.
Counter guard, the double
Ruthless
swing?
assault.
Ruthless assault.
Maybe so. Anyway, it's her double swing, right?
Okay.
So in the beginning, we mocapped a couple swings, but that looked just like her melee. Her melee is just a combination of swings.
Okay.
So Jason came up with this kind of double swirl spin you see her
I
doing.
love that animation.
And so
Oh,
what you see here is kind of like the iteration after, we do these hero reviews where we give feedback and Jason will come back with another iteration pretty quickly. And these first couple iterations are based on mocap because it's a good way to just get it in the game, show the idea.
Now, random question, Jay. The different colors when you guys are doing these, animation tests, what do those represent? Is that just the different aspects of like her kit or her person?
This was probably to avoid clipping, so you could easily see if a shoulder pad is clipping through the shield.
Got
if it's all
it.
one color, the animator might miss
Very cool.
some of the clipping.
Gotcha.
Very
I want to say too, like I believe in hero reviews, this was one of the first abilities where we were like, that's it. Like this really nails who she is.
Gotcha.
And like the physicality and weight of everything that she does in that armor.
I gotta say, I love the end of that animation, like that one fell swoop that she just brings it down. You kind of see her knee kind of buckle a little bit because of the weight of the. I love it. I love it.
And with animation, you can have it looking fantastic in our animation program. We use Maya. You could have it looking perfect, but in game it has to feel perfect.
Right.
So this is one of those moves that it looked great, but you played it and you're like, it needs a little bit here, a little bit there. And once Jae-sung nailed that, it felt really good.
That's awesome.
But yeah, that's what I got.
All right,
Awesome.
awesome. Well,
Thanks
thank
so much,
you,
Jake,
Thank
dude.
you
That's
for running through
absolutely.
the animation stuff. Now, on the flip side of
so
that,
cool. It's
I want
so
to start
cool.
talking about some effects, Tim. I want
Sure.
to start going
And
through some of that.
Like I think I say it every time I come on here, but like I really like that we do animation first because effects always kind of has to build on top of that, and we're kind of like the glue that helps put all of the pieces together and
Sure.
like represent in terms of representing the gameplay. So I think if you go to the first clip, I think is maybe.
Yeah, so you brought some stuff on board, so we can go ahead and take a look at that.
Ooh,
So
is that
this
Countess?
is her against Countess, of course, because if you read the lore,
That's right.
they're mortal enemies.
I think Tara's
it's just
winning here. by the way.
showing her primary attack, and a lot of the theming with Terra was like the animation, the audio. I don't know if you guys can hear it here, but like the audio in her kit is super heavy to go with all the animation and everything. So the effects on this here, we kind of went the opposite of what we normally do. It's really toned back, like much more about holiness and light, and her being like more of like a heavenly kind of character. I think Jordan said like paladin. So you can see like her impacts, while they're still like quick timing and punchy, we kept them as clean and clear as possible, just to more emphasize like the audio components and let the animation carry it all through.
Right. Gotcha.
So if you go, and you can see here's the winter map.
Yeah, right. I know. We're taking a look at it. It looks gorgeous. Gorgeous. So excited.
See
to
the
get
snow?
on that snow.
If you hop to the next video, this is her right mouse. And I saw someone on the stream saying her shield looks like it's upside down, but we did that kind of thing on purpose just to
Really?
help
Okay.
show the difference between the gameplay states. So when she uses the right mouse, that shield flips, and then you'll see effects-wise, we're just more or less like accentuating that like riposte or the.
Gotcha.
It's the little stuff, man. I love what you guys can do, and just the little things that bring the character to life and just showcase the abilities off in such a cool way.
And then we use like the standard. We're always trying to keep like languages universal in the game for states. So you'll see like she gets the standard shield application effects once this happens, and the effect again is kind of toned down, but it had to be really big because she's fills so much screen space. And then if you check the next video, this is her Q, I believe. So I'm just trying to show that like you can combo these abilities together, and her
Right.
kit's pretty strong in that regard.
Yeah, I believe there is some method of anim canceling here as well with between the LMB and her Q and her sweeping strike. So that's pretty awesome. I always love when there's little intricate parts to hero kits like that.
Yeah, and so we've been working really hard to, like she moves through all the abilities, have to make sure the effects look good while she's moving as well as while she's stationary. Because
Right.
I mean, hardly anybody ever just stands in one place and attacks things in the game.
Sure.
And again, it's just like the effects are mostly about the arc and giving the player a clear indication of what the radius of the attack is, and then showing that connection when she hits.
Okay.
Next video. And so the
Whoa,
effects
nice.
artist kind of wanted to show the process that he went through for creating these, because we gave him tons of feedback on it. It was just like an iterative process, and we have multiple ways of doing this, but we chose to go with like a mesh-based solution so that we could have really clean swipes. So that first video was showing like all of the points along her attack animation.
Okay.
And then this is showing like a curve that he used and then
Wow.
extrude like
Man.
a really clean mesh, so we could have like really precise meshes that match the angles. And then it turned out like just that flat mesh wasn't enough, because you may be looking at it from a perspective where you don't even see her swipes. And then we had to add these additional wrapper meshes. And then the next video, if you go to the next one, shows like all the different pieces put together in our effects editor called Cascade. If you can just skip ahead just a little bit.
So cool, man.
And you can see like we really push the timing of it so that this thing you could get a hint of where it was, but then also show the sweep of the axe coming through. So we wanted it
That is
to
such an
time up
awesome
really
tool.
well with the axe.
Gotcha.
So all the different pieces come together to create that. Now if you go to the next video. And this video kind of speaks to what Cameron was talking about, how the original kit kind of didn't work out. This was one of the effects that we had protoed. This is an early prototype effect for one of those early kits, and it was like she didn't feel heavy, and she didn't feel like a paladin or like an armored up strong character. It was more like some kind of magician.
Okay.
And so we decided definitely to go away from like anything that was magical that wasn't like on her body or directly associated with her shield or her axe.
Okay.
But we just decided that we kind of like nailed this like angelic chromatic look
Yeah.
with these effects. So
Yeah.
this, you can see how like everything builds on each other. So this was like done way before any of the other effects we show. So if you go to the next one, so this is her E, where she'll stun, and then she can combo the other attacks in together with it.
Gotcha.
And I think she'll like walk down the stairs here, and you can see like we care a lot about like how she affects the world around her.
Oh,
so
yeah, you
when
can
she
see the
does
water splash in there.
the E in the river, you get splashes.
So, man.
And then if she just does it on the snow, you get like a big blast mark on the ground to show you the radius of it.
So awesome.
And again, everything's really tight and simplified, like restricted down to only the absolute necessary elements. In the next video.
Gotcha. That is awesome.
And then this is her ult, and you can see like, I think that we looked at the really
This is
old
that
movie
angelic
from
effect.
we're struggling with this. It was like we want it to be subdued, but it has to be visible. But we need her to look holy, and I just we tried probably like 3 other treatments before we landed on this one of kind of jogged my memory as a kid, and I was like, oh wait, that movie Excalibur from like
Nice,
the 70s.
right.
Like,
Yeah, no, that's a good reference.
and
go.
so
That's
we dug that thing up, and it was like, this is perfect. So we have like these subtle hints of like flares on her armor, and her armor becomes really
Gotcha.
angelic. And if you go to the next video, you see like
I love the Neil. I know it's something small, but that's just so cool.
we test all of this stuff in multiple lighting scenarios so that we want it to be readable and legible. So you can see, like, this artist had to, Eric Ketchum was the effects artist who worked on this. Eric had to work really hard to make sure that she was going to look good in the winter map as well as the regular map and some of the other lighting scenarios we have. So, and I just wanted to say too, like, Eric Ketchum's a guy who started out on our engine QA team, and I would have to go on our QA forums and answer questions for people all the time. And one time I went in, I was like, oh, this has already been answered. Oh, it's this Eric Ketchum guy. I was like, I gotta remember that guy's name. I started noticing like more and more and more of the things I would have to answer were getting handled by him.
Okay.
So at the time I was
so
working on Fortnite, I was like, I had this big task I needed help with. I was like, Eric Ketchum, I'll go see what that
name
guy's
just
doing
came to
right
mind,
now.
Okay.
And so I think he's a really good example. I get lots of people ask me, like, what would he have to do to get into the game industry?
Right.
And
You're
Eric
actually really
Ketchum-
active on Twitter and stuff. You actually
yeah.
you interact with a big portion of the community. They hit you up on there asking you questions. So
Sure.
this question in particular was framed how you kind of get into the industry.
Oh yeah,
sort of thing?
how would you go about getting in the industry? And I think Eric's a really good example of somebody who like started out doing whatever he could to get into Epic, and he probably spent the last like year and a half, the first year and a half of Paragon development, just fixing all of our bugs.
Wow.
And learning. So it was literally like
Wow.
I would just load him up day after day with just all these bugs, and he just proved like he could handle all the tasks. He was getting
That's cool, man.
technically
Wow.
and artistically savvy. So
Well, I love that you're speaking about that, Tim, too, because I know on Play with Community streams and whatnot, we get a lot of questions from the community of how can I get involved in the game industry? I don't have a programming background. I don't have an animation background. And just to showcase that this is a fine example of somebody who started out, you know, doing like QA or engine support and then worked their way up through the ranks.
And
was
that's
able
his
to build
first
those skill
hero.
sets.
All those effects were done by Eric solo.
Wow.
Went
Shout
to
out to
every
Eric.
hero
That is
review.
extremely
so.
impressive.
I
That
will
is
clap
extremely-
for that.
I am going to purposely clap for.
I will clap for that. That's
one, 'cause
right.
That's
Hey.
something, that's
So,
something
yeah.
to be
Wow.
very proud of. Thank you for sharing that story
Sure.
with us. Though,
That's
Tim,
really cool,
seriously.
man.
And thank you to you guys, Jake, as well, man. Thank you guys
Absolutely.
for coming on here and talk. It's
Thanks for
always
having
so.
us.
If there is one thing that I can really say, obviously I'm a little biased. I love Paragon to the death of me, but animation effects in particular, I think you guys do an absolutely fantastic job, and everybody
thank
that
you.
you
Yeah,
guys
the amount of
shouted out
hard
here,
work.
the amount of
And
work
I
that
definitely want to give a
comes
shout out
together.
to Joey and Mike Larson,
Okay.
Joey
The audio
Chris, our
guys,
audio
yeah.
guys. They really pulled this. Like, she sounds amazing.
Yeah, Tim brought up a good point. We could only get so much weight out of her with animation and effects, but the audio drove it home. That's what
Yeah.
truly made her heavy.
I just love seeing all the aspects came together. Rock and roll.
All right.
Very cool.
We can, if
And
you want, if we got time, sure. But oh, this was one again. This was and the original ult that was like still too much of like a magic-y like magician kind of effect. And
Okay.
I don't know if there's another one. I think there. Oh, and this was just, hey guys, here's what the map looks like, with some of the snow in it. And one of the Eric actually did all the effects for the map as well.
Really?
And went in and hand placed a
This guy's
bunch of
amazing.
effects, pulled a bunch of the other stuff out because we're really concerned about performance on the winter map. I know that's something people have been talking
Absolutely,
about.
absolutely.
We're very cognizant of it.
Well, there you go, guys. There you guys go.
And then
Confirmed.
Scott Kennedy worked on the effects for when you're running around to make sure you always have snow. So.
Gotcha. I see someone in chat just point out Eric is OP. That's
That's
pretty
right.
accurate.
He's definitely
I'm
OP.
leaning towards that sentiment as well. Well, awesome,
All right.
guys.
Eric's going to take over the dev stream soon. When I
Yeah.
when I get a job, he's going to be animator, engine support, and community.
We'll get him. We'll get
He's
him
just
on
taking
here
over all
soon.
of it,
So.
All right, guys. Well, thank you guys again so much for jumping
Absolutely.
on here and
Appreciate it,
talking
guys.
Terra with us. And we're going to go ahead and take one more quick break as we go ahead and transition. We're actually going to have Squanto and Smashly, two community members, jump on here and talk with us for a little bit. So thank you guys again for hopping on, and we will be right back, guys. What is up, everybody? We are back, joined here by the lovely Squanto and Smashly. How you guys doing?
Good.
Yeah, you guys go ahead and say hi to everybody.
Hello.
At home. I know you guys you guys are Twitch streamers. You guys do stream pretty regularly.
Broadcasters.
Broadcasters.
Smashly was like,
Broadcasters.
Chris,
Okay.
if you don't call me a broadcaster. Squanto already threatened to punch me in the face once. Smashly said she was going to punch me in the face. I'd prefer not to lose both sides of my face. Anyways.
So how you guys doing today?
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
you guys excited about Terra? You guys
Yes.
are
I wanna
excited
play
to
it
check
more.
her
So
out?
fun.
So you guys will have a chance to, for those of you at home who haven't joined us in the past, you guys will be able to check out both Squanto and Smashly playing Terra on stream a little bit later on. But first, we wanted to go ahead and bring them on here, talk to them, chit-chat a little bit. I'm actually going to defer to Chris here. Let him ask
Me?
a couple of questions. Yes, you. Go ahead and let you ask them a couple of questions. Go ahead, take it away, man.
What's going on? Yeah, so Smashly, I'll start off with you. So if you guys are not aware, first of all, so Smashly is part of a stream team featuring DJ Knight, who's also somebody else in the community who has streamed Paragon, and done a bunch of other things with Fortnite. So I was going to ask you, for you, when it comes to Paragon and the rest of your team, I know not everybody plays, but you and DJ
I'm trying
do.
to get them to.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Right. That's the whole part of this segment. Is we're trying to get the rest of them. Daniel, hope you're watching this. Yeah, so I was going to ask, like, speak to that, like, just being a part of a stream team, how you guys got involved in Paragon. You and DJ do these, like, multicast streams, which is really
All the
cool.
time, yeah.
So if you'd like to speak to any of that type of stuff. that'd be great.
Absolutely. Actually, DJ got me into Paragon. I like
Shout out
hanging out.
DJ.
DJ, that's my dude. What's
Shout
up?
hanging
out
out with DJ, and I was watching his stream. I was like, "What is this cool game that you're playing?" And he was like, "It's Paragon." I'm like, "What is it?" And he was like, "Oh, it's a third-person action MOBA." And I was like, "Wait, this is a MOBA?" And I was like, "Let's go!" And then I literally picked it up the next day and been playing it ever since.
That's awesome. Win. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Squanto, what about you? How did you get involved in Paragon?
I know, it's crazy because I used to play COD a lot, and that was back on the PS4, and I had a group of friends that we would play with, and I remember one Friday night, I called them, I was like, guys, let's go out, and they were like, one of them were like, nah, I can't, I'm busy, and I was like, what are you doing? And he was like, playing this new game called Paragon, and I was like, oh my god, lame, right? Fast forward to 2 weeks. Okay, this is me not knowing anything about Paragon. Fast forward to 2 weeks. I called them again. I'm like, guys, let's go out. And they're like, all 5 of them were like, nah, we're playing Paragon right now. And I'm like,
Okay.
what the heck? I was like, what is this game?
I
They're
like
like,
these friends.
it's on PS4. It's free. You know, you haven't touched it in like a year. Turn it on. So I was like, all right. So I turned it on that night. I was supposed to go out with my girls. I ended up never going out with them. And then
Sorry,
ever
girls,
since
I'm playing video games tonight.
yeah,
so
and they were just like, "What are you doing?"
important
I'm like,
things.
"I'm, in the middle of battle, guys. I have to give you a call back later." Yeah, but
Steel's ulting me. No.
yeah, but after that, it's just been all I've been doing. Like, I can't get enough of Paragon. It is so much fun.
And I would say, and you, so I think I actually influenced Squanto to be playing Gadget. if
No,
I'm not
I
mistaken.
influenced you.
Excuse me?
I influenced you.
All right, we're going to have to go offline, folks. We'll be back.
Yeah,
in 5.
that's actually another question. I'm a little bit curious. So both of you guys obviously play the game pretty regularly. What role do you guys typically lean towards hero-wise? Who are some of your guys' favorites? Quanto, we can start with you.
Mine's typically mid lane. I was a one-trick pony Gadget, and then Chris actually came onto my stream. Was like, "Whoa, this girl's like really good," and I was like, "Yeah, I could show you."
Is
a
that
few
accurate,
things.
Chris? Is that how it went?
Yes,
You came
that
into the stream
is
and you said, "Wow, you are really good."
That is exactly how it went. So, yeah, but after that, I've been trying out new heroes, and Bellica right now is just my absolute favorite.
Bellica
That's why
is
we
bae.
call her Bailica.
Oh my gosh,
Bellica is
yeah,
bae.
she's
Yep.
great.
Okay, Smashly, what about you?
I typically play jungle tank. Anytime I can just
All
get
right.
in the middle of the fight and
So,
stay.
hold
in the
on,
fight.
hold on,
I'm
hold on.
So,
So-
damn excited about Terra.
So Terra, next main.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I'm
I
incredibly
think currently,
excited.
so we went and had dinner last night, kind of chit-chatted a little bit, talked about Paragon, talked about a bunch of Twitch stuff. It was a lot of fun. And you mentioned Rampage is currently. I know you play a
Rampage is
ton of
absolutely
Rampage.
my favorite.
So is he going to
Absolutely.
be taking a little bit of a
Gonna
side?
Take a little backseat to
Okay.
Terra for a bit.
All right, that's okay.
For a bit.
All right. Yeah.
And I see somebody in chat actually pointing out at Squanto, best gadget. Look at that, confirmed. better
up?
better than Chris
Thank you,
Adler.
Demon.
Primordial.
What's up?
We're going to have a little conversation later. So I don't know how much she paid you, but yeah, we'll talk. But yeah, no, so that's awesome. So Terra's going to be your main
Oh
for
yeah.
a long
for
time.
bit. I got to play with her a bit ago, and she's just awesome. I love her kit.
Right. What is, so if you don't mind me asking, so what is your favorite part of her kit? Because I know you guys had 30, 45 minutes to sit down
Honestly,
and play her.
she kind of has that shield block. It's kind of like taking like Yin's little like backlash and throwing it onto her, and like
Oh, good point. Good
being
point.
able to just like like throw back rocks or any damage, and honestly, like being able to step into a turret and just be like, nope, one of these blocks.
Like, what's up,
Done.
turret? You ain't got nothing on me. What's up?
But her ultimate is really awesome, honestly. Like, it's just like, I don't care about your crowd control.
Right. I cannot wait to see the hashtag Paragon plays out there that come from Terra with the shield blocking.
Oh
like
my God.
we
Oh,
heard
yeah.
CW earlier kind of talking about like blocking the Murdoch shot, which was totally, I don't care what he says, total accident, total accident. But
Total accident. I was just trying to.
I cannot wait to see the plays that people bust out with her.
Right.
In all honesty, man, especially when it comes to that ability in particular.
Right. One of the things I noticed while you guys were playing, both of you built corruption and or growth. Sorry. Yeah, corruption and or death and growth. Sorry, I'm going off of the old ones. I apologize. But so for you two, I guess like build wise, is that what you're intending to build? Like, what do you think is going to be like the main? Are you going to be like, yo, I'm going full tank, I'm going bruiser? Or are you going to be like, you know what, I'm going to go for a little bit more of that glass canny, type build?
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
think I'm going to do growth chaos, honestly. Like,
Really?
she
Okay.
already has, like, her shield block, like, reflects damage. And I think adding on Thorn Yomi on top of that is just going to be like, any damage you throw at me, I'm putting back
Right.
at you.
It's just gone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. That's awesome. Squanto?
I built her tanky, and I don't remember. Like, I think I backed maybe twice that entire game. I was just constantly.
Will either
Yeah,
of you guys,
you were the fight great. It was.
will
She's
either
like,
of you-
bots, you can't get me.
will either of you guys be taking CW up on his advice regarding his builds? Because he says that blue is the way to go
With
because
the blink,
she
right?
needs blink.
I
Astral
definitely
Leap is
think
such a
so.
good
Yeah.
card.
According to
Such a good
CW, Astral Leap.
I mean, when
huge
I was
card.
playing her, I was like, man, I kind of wish I could just blink in and then use that stun or that ultimate,
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
I might try growth knowledge. For,
Okay.
Just for the
I feel like that's where I would
Because,
go.
like,
Yeah,
because
that's what I do
that
with Shinbi
Also,
whenever I
one
play
thing
her.
I noticed with her is like trying to actually get into the fights. It's kind of hard. Like, you just kind of like mosey on up in there.
Right.
Right. And yeah, again, that's where Astral Leap, CW kept poking at that. Was like blink, blink, blink.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Well, I was going to ask you guys, so a little bit on the side note of, apart from Terra, for you guys as streamers, like, do you guys, or broadcasters, apologies, I keep using the wrong term. Do you guys have any advice for those out there that are aspiring to become a broadcaster, a content creator, and are wondering, what are the steps that I can take to get to that point? I know, Smashy, you've been killing it right now with, along with Paragon, doing the Warframe stuff, and just the stream team and connecting with other people. I'd love to hear what advice you guys have to offer folks aspiring
And
to do that.
Squanto, on the other end of that, you're someone who's super, super consistent and someone who's I really admire your ability to just consistently, day in and day out, always bringing that energy. And that's one of the things that really stood out to myself, Chris, the rest of the community team out here, was the energy that you were able to bring and the passion for, very, very clear passion for your community and the people who play Paragon, don't play Paragon, just come out and hang out in your stream. Talk to us a little bit about that, and that's from both of you guys.
Well, for me personally, I checked out Smashley's Twitch and I was like, oh my gosh, she's so awesome. And I'm like a pretty new
The reverb
streamer.
effect.
Yeah, I'm a pretty new streamer, and I recently, well, not recently, but kind of recently joined a team too. And for me, when it comes to streaming, I just have this mindset that it's like something that I really enjoy doing, and I just want to continue having fun in whatever it is that I'm doing. And, Paragon is my main game. And so whenever I'm like on my stream team's channel, I'm like, guys, we have to play Paragon together. It's so much fun. Because I really am all about community, and I want to bring in like my own friends and create new friendships and things
Sure,
like that.
absolutely.
That's good. So having fun. That's actually, I know it's
Yeah.
something simple, but having fun
Yeah.
in anything that you do is absolutely key. So
Yeah, no one wants
Smasher.
to tune into a streamer who's not having fun, honestly.
Guys, I hate to do this.
Yeah, I guess if you're trying to get started streaming, it's like do what Squanto's doing, is stick with it, honestly. Like, be consistent, show up at the same time every day, and build a community. And Paragon's a great place to build a community, actually.
Yeah, consistency is a very, very big thing. Yeah, I've talked to a lot of people who have been doing broadcasting for a while. DJ Knight, I think he's
Yeah.
what was
Oh,
it,
yeah.
5 years straight or something, with like taking a day off.
I think he's
I was
like,
like,
at like
dude, what?
700 days straight or
Yeah.
something like that. I don't know. I
It was
lost count.
something crazy, yeah. So definitely, if you guys ever have any questions too about like how to get Squanto again, doing some great things, just joining the stream team, and again Smashley as well. Been doing this for a while, and I know they were both at TwitchCon, so we were able to see you guys in action, like dealing with a lot of your viewers and subscribers, and then also hanging out down and asking questions with you guys. It was awesome to see that. So
Right, definitely. Is there anything now that you guys have for us
I was
on,
literally
from
took the
your
words
guys,
right out
from
of my
your
mouth.
guys'
Are you
community
ready?
side?
Are you ready? Because
Okay,
this
don't be
was-
making me nervous now. Don't be making me nervous
I'm
now.
just
It was
kidding.
just a question. It was just a question. We don't have to. We can skip this portion of the segment.
Hey,
No,
Ed, I'm
no.
actually gonna leave. I'm gonna let you take this by yourself. So
No, but in all seriousness, is there anything that you guys are genuinely curious about, or regarding like on the dev side, or anything that you guys have been asked from your guys' communities in particular that you guys wanted to bring over to us and kind of ask on stream?
Yeah, I think one of the most asked questions was, I know you guys touched up on it a little bit last week about bringing ranked out in the next year in 2018, but is there a more in-depth timeline of when we can expect
I mean,
that?
there's not much in the realm. If you guys actually checked out we released the Vision blog, I believe last week.
Yep, it was a week and a half ago.
Kind of like
Yep,
a
the
heads
direction
up.
and future of Paragon.
Here's where Paragon is going in 2018. If you guys haven't checked that out, highly recommend. Just kind of gives a brief overview of, hey, these are the things that you can kind of expect going into the new year, right?
Yeah.
One of those things being ranked. Not too much in the way outside of it's coming along. There is a version of it that is being tested. We will not release the game without ranked.
Right.
And I want to make
And
that
it says that in the blog. Yep.
Ranked is a core experience to what is Paragon in the long term, and as we get closer to the release, which will be in 2018, 100%, that will be featured.
And monolithic matchmaking also a part of that. I know people have been asking about matchmaking. That was also in
That's
that
what
blog.
I would ask.
Right, in tandem with ranked, in order to have that monolithic matchmaking system will come out with that. So, by the way, I saw you, Jay Leo, already being like, "Oh, her asking about ranked. Let's go."
She's got you. She's
Jay
got
Leo,
you.
I
She's
saw
got
you
your
poking
back.
in there. So,
Shinx,
I
and
didn't
it's
notice.
funny because I see all of the competitive guys
Yo,
start popping up.
Mikey,
I see
Shinx.
shout out to Mikey, shout out to Shinx, shout out to Jay
That's
Leo,
right, that's
shout out
right.
to all you guys in the chat. We see y'all. They're asking the questions for you. They got your back. Smashly, how about you? You got anything for us?
Yeah, I was gonna ask about matchmaking. Do you know like what's gonna be behind the scenes on matchmaking? Like, is it gonna be more based on, instead of just a MMR ranking, is it gonna be? Are we gonna have it based off of party size?
Yeah, I can speak to that a little bit. I've talked about this on Play with Community streams as well. It'll be an encompassment of all of those things and more. One of the things that I will continue to reiterate is once that system even does come out, you guys won't even see any changes immediately. It's one of those things, the way that we're prefacing the system is it finally gives us the tools and the knobs to turn in order to get it to where we believe it needs to be. It's a server-side matchmaking system that will allow us to do a lot more, whereas right now we're a little bit more limited with the client-side matchmaking that we currently have and with where it's at. So it'll give us those tools. But yeah, we're trying to encompass party size, MMR, the ELO of the combination of everybody's MMR, and a bunch of different factors. So yeah, and again, we're still working through all that, but we've said this before, the system's technically almost there. It's legitimately done. QA just needs to test, and we need to do some optimization and performance and stability testing. But we're very, 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 very close.
Right.
Okay, I have another question.
What is your
There
other
has been
question?
rumors about a 3v3 map. Confirmed? Denied?
So we've actually confirmed that we're working on another map. There are, in fact, other game modes, other maps that are being worked on. 100%.
Yep.
Absolute truth. Now, time frame wise, can't really speak to that too much, but 2018 is looking like a very promising year to start rolling a lot of this stuff out and get excited for. But that is something that we can absolutely confirm is in the works. In fact, there was rather recently actually, there was a dev playtest on one of the other maps, so that I got to participate in, and that was very exciting.
Do we,
so.
Yeah,
do we get to
can we,
participate in
We'll
that?
see. We'll see. We'll see.
Maybe. You both
We'll see.
threatened to punch me in the face. So
I will take it back. I will take it back.
Okay. Yeah, and it's one of those things too. One of the things I want to speak of, even with that, we talked in the Vision blog as well about before we even incorporate, on Reddit responses to the Vision blog, before we incorporate something like that. Again, we keep saying like stability, performance, and testing. One of the things I wanted to let you guys know about as well is once we hit the new year, especially in 45, there's going to be a lot more focus on performance and stability. I know you guys have been coming to us about that and been like, hey, like the queue crashes that happen in 44.4. We just put out a patch recently to address a lot of that stuff. We're really working to focus on those things now that we have the Monolith Visual Update out and a bunch of the, like Terra's coming out, a bunch of the new minions, and just a bunch of stuff. So we're going to be working on that, and I want to give you guys that affirmation. That is something we are going to be focusing on once we hit the new year pretty hard. So.
Answer your question?
Yes.
Good. All right. Anything else for us, Miss Quanto?
Any new gadget skins?
Wow.
We got some pretty cool skins coming out for sure. Definitely,
Really?
especially after Winterfest. Yeah, planned for this next couple of years. We might be able to take a little gander a little bit later at some of the cool stuff that we have coming into 2018. But absolutely,
Chat's just like,
definitely.
why are you doing this to me? I wanna see it
What
too.
does that mean for us? I can't see the thing. But yeah, no, absolutely. We definitely have plans for skins. Every single hero coming into 2018. Everybody will get they'll get some.
So I'm not
swag.
sure if
They'll
all
get
of them
some
will
swag.
ship in 2018, but
But
yes.
there is stuff for every hero planned out, definitely. I know there's a couple heroes in particular that a couple folks have been asking about. Seraph is one of them. Shinbi's another one that people have been asking for a new skin for, stuff like that. So
Yeah, I will say
hopefully we
there
can start rolling those out for you guys.
There is a gadget skin in the works. I don't know when it will be coming out, but I have seen it, and it is god tier, as they call it. So we shall see. We shall see.
All right, cool, guys. Well, thank you guys for coming.
you so
and
much for
hopping on
coming.
for
Thanks for
us.
having
Thank you
us.
guys for
Awesome.
bringing the questions and stuff. And is there anything last that you guys want to say to your guys' community, for any of your guys' viewers who are coming checking you guys out? Maybe anything you guys want to say? To
I love
them?
you guys.
Oh.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, and please, like, we say this every time they come on, but I can't stress this enough. Like, please give them a follow, give them a subscribe, follow them on Twitter. Like, the way that we build a community is by supporting these folks that this is their livelihood, this is what they're trying to do. And I know, like, Smashy, you're working a job right now on top of streaming full time, right? And that's like 16-hour days of working 2 different jobs. And supporting these folks to be able to do what they do and to build that community around them is such a huge thing. So please do support them, follow them on Twitter, Twitch, the whole nine.
Chad needs more claps, by the way.
Clap, clap,
There's
clap.
like claps. You guys will get more before the
More
stream ends.
claps, more
But we're
claps.
gonna go ahead and take a real quick break, guys. We're gonna go ahead and let.
Again. Oh, we're gonna take a real quick break, and then we're gonna come back.
I can't wait for Reddit to just like meme the crap out of me about this for the foreseeable future. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and let the lovely Smashly and Squanto hop on out of here. They're gonna go ahead and get set up in the stream room because they're gonna be streaming some Terra gameplay for us a little bit.
Yeah, we'll
later.
be hosting Smashly first, and then we're gonna get Squanto hosted
That's right.
as well.
That's right. So you very, very close to that. In the meantime, we're gonna go ahead and take a quick break while they go ahead and do that and get all set up. So we will be right back, folks.
Awesome.
Bye, y'all.
What is up, guys? Got a little bit of a close-up view now here on us.
A little close up.
This feels a lot
Rocking
more like
the
a
sweaters.
Feels, oh yeah. So we haven't even addressed that actually. We haven't even addressed how many. I think I saw a couple of people in chat actually asking about the sweaters.
Unreal Engine.
Chris, what's the deal with the sweaters here?
We just wanted to look real freaking good on stream. So
Okay.
hashtag since '91. You know what I'm saying? Let's go.
So actually, for this one in particular, it was more.
So I just threw Ed off with that because he had no idea.
It was more than just. I mean, it's Winterfest, you know. It's time. It's
Yeah,
Christmas
holidays.
time,
Yeah,
it's time.
yeah. Wintertime. Everybody's super excited about the holidays coming. So we were like, you know
Absolutely.
what? I never wear ugly sweaters just because I don't like anything that's like super.
Let me see if I can
constrictive
just
and
like.
stuff.
Let me see if I can give you all a quick like stand up. You guys can see like the Unreal. It's got like the Unreal nose.
We're
on
here
it.
with
I
Edgar
love
Diaz.
that.
He's rocking
I
the
love it.
Unreal Engine ugly sweater.
You gotta love the Unreal nose on the Mr. Reindeer here, and then we got like the Unreal Engine. I'm not gonna go ahead and do a full 360, but we got the we have the
360 no scope.
we got the Unreal logos in the back of those as well. So I love these things. So actually, before we go ahead and we just want to chit chat a little bit before we shoot things over to Squanto and
Yep.
Smashly, want to talk about a couple
they're
of
getting
things.
prepped upstairs.
So first thing, I actually really wanted to give some props to a couple of community artists.
Yep.
Who,
Part of Paragon.
That's right. So
Yep.
go, actually, if you want to go ahead and speak to that, kind of talk a little bit about what our relationship is with the Paragon guys and how they go about like getting some of this stuff and
Yeah, I'd love to. Yeah, so we've got a couple guys, Sneaky Paragon, Side Drawing Flicks, Callum Baker, and a bunch of other people that are involved in a group called Paragon. It's essentially a super group, so to speak, of really cool artists that are all talented in unique ways, whether it be hand-drawn stuff or digital art or even I know Callum like legit does like ink and paper, which is super cool.
Mm-hmm.
I do not have that talent. I can't even draw a stick figure, so
Nope.
please do not ask me.
I am right there with you, my friend. I'm right there with you.
Really cool group of guys and girls that are doing some amazing things. Please do support them. They do a lot of the art that you all see on Reddit and on Twitter and DeviantArt as well. So I think we actually have some of them to show, Daniel.
We do.
Starting with Flicks.
That's right. So this one here is from Flick Steven. You guys may have seen this one. I think we just promoted this actually via our social channels over the weekend.
Yes.
Saturday or so. I love this one here.
Showing the power and confidence of Terra.
That's right. So you have Greystone there, plus Terra, and then Sparrow there in the background, kind of egging them on as they. So chat. One
of my favorite pieces I think I've ever seen.
Let me just shoot this over to chat really quick. Chat. Let me get a 1 if you think Greystone wins this arm wrestle 1v1. Let me get a 2 if you think that Terra just puts him in the dirt.
That's 2.
It's got to be a 2, right?
It's got to be a 2.
It's got to be a 2. Look at that bicep.
Terra's guns.
Look at the shoulder. All right,
Terra's
here we go.
guns.
They're popping up 2, 2, 2. All right, there's
and
a 1.
And she's got the war paint. Like, come on.
All right, I'm seeing an overwhelming in favor of Terra there. So I can't say I blame you guys.
Too powerful, you know what I'm saying?
Oh my
Let's go.
All right, guys. I just wanted to go ahead and just settle that for anybody who had that debate. I just needed to get a little bit of a glimpse at that. But moving on, next one here, we have one from Side Drawing. Sai's awesome guy. He actually shot this over to me on Instagram the other day, or he posted it on his Instagram, and I was like, wow, this is the more on the digital side of things, more on the digital art side of things. But I love this one in particular as well. The level of detail and the armor, he just did such a great job of capturing this. This is great. Fantastic.
I want to know how long it took him to do this, because it's humbling to see how much goes into the art side, and just being able to see it. Rendition is beautiful.
Right.
It's awesome.
Absolutely. And then we have one more here that we wanted to go ahead and bring up, and this is by our very own Sneaky Paragon brothers. Shout out to them.
Ooh.
Sneaky Paragon, always doing fantastic stuff.
Keeping it spicy, folks.
These guys have, I would say, I don't really have anything that I can really say up to this point, because I consistently give them shout outs on social and everything, because they truly deserve it. They've been since the very beginning. They've always been, they consistently put out this awesome stuff, and this is one of their more recent artworks of Terra in particular. So you guys go ahead and check that out. Let me go ahead and get on here.
By the way, Ed, I saw Little Grux asking us in chat if we could arm wrestle.
If we could arm wrestle?
That's I heard.
How are we supposed to arm wrestle here? I don't even know how to facilitate this, really.
Nah, we're like brothers. How could y'all expect us to arm wrestle? We don't shake hands. Brothers got a hug. If anybody knows that line.
Me and Chris and I are actually gym buddies as well, so
that's right.
That would actually be pretty close. I honestly don't know. I honestly don't really know who would
hitting the gym in these sweaters later. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no, I don't know about all that.
Yeah.
But you got a couple people in the chat. Do
it.
Do it.
Sasquatch.
These
Let's
guys
go.
Are too much instigating.
Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and host them here shortly. If anybody has any quick questions.
That's right. We'll probably answer just 1 or 2 questions really quick. Before we shoot a host on over, but they are actually looks like they're getting in game now. Very possibly.
1 for Chris, 2 for Ed.
Oh no.
Wow.
All right, let's see. How close? Okay, so this is actually from Shakar in chat. So this is actually one that has been popping up. This pops up very frequently.
All the time.
Voice lines in particular. So I cannot. And again, I know it's a little bit rough because it's more like, hey, I've seen it. You guys just hang in there.
I've heard it.
But in this particular case, guys, in regards to voice lines and them coming to Paragon, Chris, I am so excited and we've been listening to a couple of them that have rather recently been recorded as we've been moving through these.
We heard it in game, folks. So we actually had on our Paragon team meeting recently, they actually showed us the first iteration of what in-game VO would be like interacting between heroes. So We're getting there. We're definitely getting there. I've heard Chimera is just the raw output of what was recorded with no like post-processing and effects. Dude sounds gnarly. So yes, it's coming. It's coming.
And I cannot wait. I cannot wait. Will Clap be nerfed?
Zelda Royd said, "Will claps be nerfed?" They can't be nerfed. They have to be OP. That's, you know what I'm saying?
Can Terra block?
Please be nerfed.
Can
Please be nerfed. Sorry, Daniel, who is our video producer on this, has been asking. He's like, guys, kill.
Nerf it. Nerf it.
Nerf it.
Nerf it. One of the questions here: Can Terra ult block? Can Terra block Aurora ult?
I would assume so. So
that's a good question.
The way her ult works is it's for a couple seconds, and I believe it's 5, 6, and 7 seconds, and it levels up each time. It's either 5, 6, 7, or 6, 7, and 8. You guys will find out in the patch notes tomorrow. I actually have that in there. Yeah, I mean, it blocks all CC, so for a amount of duration. So if you see it coming and you proc that ultimate as Terra, you will walk into that Aurora ult and be untouched. But again, if you proc it too early, and Aurora's ult where the stun actually goes off and ticks, or if you get in that part of that chain stun, then you will be stunned.
Right. There is one. I'll take one more question here. It looks like which heroes are getting reworked next. So we can't actually speak to specifics around that, but I can say that there are a number of heroes who are on our hit list for. We actually spoke about it a little bit ago. What update was it? Was it 44.3 where we had all the more recent hero reworks and whatnot?
Right.
When those got introduced with Rampage, Grux, all of those guys there.
Yep.
We have a number of other heroes who are on our hit list. Little bit hesitant to confirm any time frames because all of that stuff is subject to change, especially for 2018. Our priority list is constantly changing, but at the forefront of it, all of those things that we've spoken to in the Vision blog that we released last week, or excuse me, in the update, or what's next, what's coming in 2018, a lot of those things, those are our priority right now. Those are the things that we are absolutely prioritizing.
What I think one of the things I was going to say too at the hero reworks before we go ahead and shoot over the host was the fact that a lot of the significant hero reworks that we've talked about that require animation and effects changes, and it's like a full kit rework. A lot more of the heavy stuff does take time, and we've been working on a lot of these in the background, and so next year you'll start to see a lot more of those come to fruition. Again, don't want to set any improper expectations on exactly when, like Ed said, but we'll definitely be rolling those out here soon.
Trust me, guys, I'm waiting for my Sparrow rework too. I'm going to just throw it out there. Trust me, I'm waiting for it too.
There you go.
But hopefully we get that in 2018, guys. That is just about going to wrap things up for us on our end, though.
Yeah,
sounds like we have Smashly online already and ready to go. She's going to be streaming some Terra gameplay, so please, you guys head on over there. Show her some love, show her some support. Go check out that Terra gameplay. It has been awesome hanging out with you guys.
Map.
I hope I did not. I know that Kale has some big shoes to fill. I hope I didn't let you guys down too much.
You did great. He didn't let nobody down. He did great. Give him some love.
All the clapping.
I'll clap for that, folks. I'll clap for that.
I have to apologize for the 200 claps that I gave you, or I saw chat keeping count there for a little bit. But seriously, guys, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us. I love hanging out with y'all. Seriously, it's the best. Really hope you guys are looking forward to Winterfest. All the things that are going to be coming in 44.6.
Yep.
Ton of cool stuff, guys. There's going to be so much for you guys to play for over the break. I'm going to be on Monolith, hitting it up this weekend. That's for damn sure. So hopefully I see you guys out there as well. We're going to go ahead and shoot this host over to Smashly.
Follow them, subscribe to them, follow them on Twitter, please.
That's right.
Can't stress it enough. Thank you guys so much.
I'll see you guys later, all right?
Love y'all.